The brother name say my hold echo say where man Ghana masi enti say in case say waba to me so entwemu ko kisakeke. Please hit on the subscribe button. Who you so like your comment mommy. Na more when fi so be share ma for you so be for. Recommend this channel Totu TV to a whole lot of people nom to be huna echo say where man Ghana masi because each and every day we try our possible best to bring you what is going on in our beloved country Ghana. It's make sure to subscribe. You see, one of the most important news are so where you come say no. But could be a better mena. So you when you go to Masisia.
Demonstrated as a clear sign of ineptitude and incompetence on the part of the Attorney General in presenting this case to the court and the evidence they brought. In fact, the evidence they brought were evidence that were very, very irrelevant. I say so because they brought evidence of years prior to 2016. And Honorable Alessebefia, the last minister of the NDC government, had dealt with all the implementation hiccups of this ambulance problem issue. In fact, he has sent a team to Dubai to go and negotiate all the implementation problems that were occasioned right from 2012 to 2016 before he left office. In fact, the team that led the delegation for the dispute resolution, which is grounded in the contract, was led by Professor Ahmed Zakaria, the CEO of the National Ambulance Service. And they came out with an addendum. An addendum is founded on clause 23 of the contract, which is amendment. And no amendment or anything outside the contract can be valid unless it is signed by both parties. And this is what the both parties agree to. So when they send their team to Dubai to go and negotiate on the implementation difficulties, which is normal in international contracts, especially in manufacturing of such nature, when they are custom made. Because ambulances are not manufactured on the shelf for you to go and buy. Like the way you go and buy Land Cruiser, you go and buy the already manufactured. No. Ambulances are made to specification of the purchaser. So they have to buy all the accessories from around the globe, bring them together, and with delivery schedule, manufacturing schedule, to put them together. So when they do it and in the contract says that you have to come for pre-shipment inspection to come and check and be sure that what you signed for is what has been produced. And you decide that, oh, I don't care, I will not go and inspect of an international contract. And you think that by refusing to go and inspect, the contract is ended. You must be living in a wonderland. The manufacturer will proceed to ship the products to you. Because in the contract, there's also a clause. If one particular area is breached, it does not prevent the other areas from being implemented. So if you have waived your right to inspect, it does not stop the supplier from fulfilling other obligations in the contract. And also, the supplier used their own money, loans they took from banks, to manufacture. And you only secured the transaction with an LC, with condition precedent for the supplier to meet before he can be paid. And the condition precedent is talking about bill of lading. How do you get a bill of lading? It's only when you have shipped the goods that you get a bill of lading to send to the purchaser's bank to meet the preconditions in the LC. So if you refuse to come and inspect, which is your right to waive and bear the consequences, and they also have the right to ship and get the money they've invested. So they ship the ambulance to you. You refuse to clear the ambulance from the port, the first 10. The ambulances were vandalized by thieves at the port. They stole almost all the accessories in the first 10. Supply was informed. The subsequent 10 to make it 30, you government agreed with the supplier that, look, because of what had happened, all subsequent shipments, put the accessories in a separate container and bring them so that they are not stolen or the sea waves, because they are disposable accessories in their cabins. They don't hit left and right and damage. This is common sense. So they put them in a separate container. They ship it. And there are letters and agreements to that from the Ministry of Health, signed by the former Chief Director, Sylvester Animana. So the government knew about accessories. They arrived at the port way back in November 2016. The following month, there's election. The previous government loses the election. They hand over the accessories, the bill of lading, everything to you, incoming government. Even Honorable Esefifia had written to the Minister of Finance that, look, government has taken delivery of the accessories. And all the implementation hiccups that were occasioned by his predecessor, Sher Aiti, and also his colleague minister, Setepe, in refusing to establish the LC on time, all had been resolved. So proceed and establish the LC so that the rest of the 170 ambulances can come to Ghana for the Ghanaians to use. This letter was written in December. I heard the Deputy Attorney General espousing ignorance here, and I'm shocked. And I'm saying ignorance because it's premised on law, and the man is ignorant on that. How can you tell the whole world that that letter Lesefia wrote was written in December, and it was post-election? The election is 7th December. And MPP won, yes, they won. But they don't have executive power until they are sworn in by the Chief Justice on the 7th of January. So from December that the letter was written until 7th January, the power of executive and to sign and dismiss and appoint was still with President John Dramani Mahama, not Akufo-Addo. So you can't say that letter Lesefia signed in December is of no effect because it was post-election. That is pathetic ignorance of a Deputy Attorney General speaking this way.
Mr. Jakpa, you seem very confident that government didn't have a case to begin with. If so, then why do you think the Attorney General came to court?
Attorney General came to court purely on political convenience and mischief to imprison Honorable Atuforsen. And this stemmed from the e-levy. It stemmed from the e-levy because Honorable Atuforsen was a ranking member for NDC in Parliament. And he was giving them headaches. He was frustrating and being meticulous on the figures that Ken Ofori-Atta was bringing to Parliament. So on the insistence of Ken Ofori-Atta, they decided to charge Atuforsen in order to intimidate him, to soften in Parliament, so that he doesn't peruse and be too critical on the things that Ken Ofori-Atta brings to the Finance Committee. So they decided to charge him and hang that on him to intimidate him, to cow him down. But in doing so, they realized that it will become too obvious that this is a witch hunting. So, well, let's add the agent of the supplier to it, to max it and deceive Ghanaians and let it look as if it is not a witch hunting. It is a crime that they've all committed. Is it not surprising to you that you have a contract with a principal outside the country? Your LC is 100% to the principal, who is the recipient. You paid it direct to the principal. You have not charged the principal. You have not instituted any civil case against the principal on the contract, both criminal and civil. You've done nothing. Then you come and hold the appendage of the principal, which is the agent, and drag him to court and say you have committed financial loss. Yet, you are at ADR to negotiate with the principal on the same contract that you are charging his agents. And when the principal decided to take you at government to the civil court, commercial division, and sued you for judgment debt, you, the same Attorney General, Godfrey Dame, you went to the court and filed motion in the court that the court should refer the case to ADR because the contract that you are charging his agent on states that any dispute or misunderstanding arising from the contract must be settled at ADR. So he, the Attorney General, he knows about this clause. So he conveniently goes to the civil court and go to argue there. Then the civil court decided, okay, that is true. So they ordered both of us to go to ADR and go and solve the problem. You got this judgment. The case at ADR. He doesn't want to go to ADR. Then you are at criminal court. The same human being. You are at criminal court trying to jail the principal that you are at ADR of. His agent that you don't have a contract with. Because from his own term, as he told me in my cousin's house, I'm a collateral damage. And in a political trial, there must be a collateral damage. So I should understand that.
Now, if you look at
what kind of human being is this?
The cross-examination of the Attorney General, in fact, I would say like 4.5 days, because the very first day when they started, they asked you only 2 questions and all that. How will you rate that particular cross-examination from the Attorney General and all this that you are saying?
Which of the cross-examination?
The cross-examination by the prosecution of you.
Today or all?
All.